Here we go.
It's January 31st, 2018, and I'm getting ready to go out tonight. I'm talking to my best friend Mackie about how much fun I'm going to have. What I don't know is that what I will endure tonight will be anything but fun. It's February 1st, and I'm waking up in a bed that's not mine, in a house I barely recognize, next to a kid I've met twice. And there's this feeling between my thighs that isn't right. It's January 31st, and I knowingly accept a roofie drink at the party. It's February 1st, and my best friend Mackie is having to help me fill in where my memory goes blank. It's January 31st, and I'm stumbling around this party while John hands me drink after drink after drink. According to Mackie, it was clear I was way too drunk to be drinking more, but he wouldn't stop giving it to me. It's February 2nd, and I receive a text from John that says, "Your naked body looks so good." It's January 31st, and Mackie goes upstairs to find me with John. I'm slurring my words, swaying back and forth. My eyes are glassy, I'm dry heaving into a toilet bowl, and I'm in and out of consciousness. It's February 3rd, and John is entering my study room without my permission. He's sitting right next to me when he says, "The other night was fun, we should do it again sometime." It's January 31st, and John is taking pictures of me and trying to undress me. He won't leave no matter how much Mackie tells him to, and he insists that he's the one who stays with me tonight, even though we've met once before. I've chosen to be vulnerable by telling my story to highlight how much of an issue sexual misconduct is on college campuses worldwide, but most specifically our campus. In this speech, I plan to explain what constitutes sexual misconduct and campus climate, how prevalent they are, and how collectively we can make a change through raising awareness. According to Pepperdine University's Student Code of Conduct, sexual misconduct is defined as being sex discrimination, sexual harassment, sexual assault, domestic violence, dating violence, and stalking. Essentially, this is anything from preferential treatment on the basis of sex to rape. It's also important to define what consent is in this situation, as a violation of the misconduct policy occurs when consent is not received. Consent, therefore, is affirmative, conscious, and voluntary agreement to engage in sexual activity, according to Pepperdine. As I mentioned previously, sexual misconduct is not rare on college campuses. In a study conducted by Mackenzie Javorka and Rebecca Campbell, two psychologists from Michigan State University, they determined that anywhere from 14 to 23% of women in college are sexually assaulted. In other words, about 1 in 5 women in college are sexually assaulted. According to the Rape, Abuse, and Incest National Network, 11.2% of all college students experience rape or sexual assault through physical force, violence, or incapacitation. And furthermore, the National Sexual Violence Resource Center states that nearly 2/3 of all college students experience sexual harassment. Now I understand that some of those numbers seem pretty low. However, these studies can only use reported cases of sexual harassment, assault, and rape. Any case that is not reported goes unseen and cannot be used in these statistics. Those numbers, though, focus on the nationwide problem, and as I said, Pepperdine has a problem itself. Unfortunately, I was unable to find the specifics of last year's reported sex crimes due to the Clery Act. Under this act, schools don't have to post until October 1st what crimes happened the last year, so Pepperdine just hasn't done so. VPS officers, however, pointing me towards their crime log. What this crime log does is it sums up every reported crime, whether that's reckless driving, possession of alcohol or drugs, or rape from the last 60 days. What this crime log told me is that from January 16th to February 7th, 5 cases of sex crimes have been reported as happening here on campus. In other words, that's in 23 days, 5 cases of sex crimes had occurred. Now, Pepperdine, like most other schools, has a campus climate that helps to normalize sexual misconduct. Laurel Mazur and Ann Kirkner, co-writers of the book Violence and Gender, describe campus climate as comprising how safe students feel while participating in college life, whether or not students feel harassed or threatened, and ideas of how the school would respond to violent incidents. This kind of campus climate can manifest in many ways, but at Pepperdine it's in the way that kids talk about things. Overheard Pep, a Twitter account in which students can share what they have heard being said at Pepperdine, has demonstrated this a few times. It comes in the form of kids saying things like, "Did she give you consent?" I'm sick, hi, does it matter? And there is about 25 to 30% of the girls here that are smashable. It can also come in the form of rape jokes, even if they're not about a person. Saying these kinds of things creates this culture that thinks it's okay to see women as sexual beings, and that highly normalizes and diminishes the effects of sexual misconduct. Furthermore, it's this type of campus climate that leads to 90% of victims not reporting cases of sexual misconduct, according to the United States Department of Justice. Now, I wish that there was some end-all, be-all solution that I could give, but what I can say is that silence is not going to fix this problem. LaShonda Coleman, our Title IX coordinator, explained to me that it wasn't until last year that we held our first Take Back the Night event, an event that helps to raise awareness for sexual assault on campuses and that provides support for victims. This kind of silence and one-time event is just allowing people to turn a blind eye to the problem. The easiest way you guys can get involved in raising awareness is through participating in Denim Day. Denim Day falls on April 24th, 2019, and all you have to do is wear denim. According to the official Denim Day website, the denim is a symbol of protest against erroneous and destructive attitudes about sexual harassment, abuse, assault, and rape. So by wearing denim, you guys are joining a worldwide movement in which it takes a stand against rape culture, such as the one that plagues our own community. Another way you can get involved is through donating to End Rape on Campus. This is a nonprofit organization that aims to end rape on college campuses through providing support for victims, educating people at schools, and through changing policies on all levels. You can get involved by going to endrapeoncampus.org and clicking on donate. From there, you can choose to donate money either online, by mail, or you can choose to volunteer, but it's as easy as that. The last way you can take action is through signing my petition to get more events on campus, such as Walk a Mile in Her Shoes or Screenings of the Hunting Ground, a documentary that is about rape on campuses. With LaShonda's help, I will be presenting new ideas for events that we can host on campus that raise awareness to this issue at the next Student Wellness Advisory Board meeting. And with this petition, I can show that our student body agrees we can't remain silent anymore. If you sign this petition, you are joining others in a fight against sexual misconduct on our campus and standing in solidarity with victims of it. On January 31st, 2018, I was taken advantage of in a state of incapacitation. I stood here today to tell my story, to highlight how much of an issue sexual misconduct is on college campuses, but specifically ours. College campuses worldwide are dominated by a campus climate that normalizes and diminishes the effects of sexual misconduct. And sexual misconduct can come in many different forms, ranging from harassment, stalking, assault, and domestic violence. And with nearly 2/3 of all students experiencing sexual harassment, it's time we stop being silent. The fact of the matter is, sexual misconduct is a real and evident danger to everyone, and it's time we change that. You can help raise awareness through donating to End Rape on Campus, a nonprofit organization aiming to end rape, through educating and changing policies, through wearing denim on Denim Day, April 24th, 2019, and through signing my petition to get more events on campus that raise awareness to this issue. This may not end sexual misconduct on campus altogether, but it's going to start a conversation, and together our voices have a lot of power. I want to leave you with a quote by Dolores Huerta, a civil rights activist, that says, "Every moment is an organizing opportunity. Every person, a potential activist. Every minute is a chance to change the world." Thank you.